This is just horrific, these images that we are seeing on our screen. This is of a Tejas fighter aircraft. We can confirm, we are told from Angad Singh, an excellent aviation journalist, of this incident taking place. This news very sadly breaking first on NDTV. It appears from this little video that we've got an excerpt of that this jet was trying to pull up, but for whatever the reason is, it didn't take place. I think the key thing that we need to know right now is, did the pilot eject in time? If this crash is one that involves the Tejas, as I understand it is, then this would be the second loss of a Tejas fighter aircraft. There's only been one further loss of a Tejas fighter. That took place a couple of years back, and that was as a result of an engine failure which took place. You can see in the last few moments before the aircraft went down that there was an effort to pitch up, but by then it was too late. Now, I do know that one of the maneuvers that the Tejas does pull at the Dubai Airshow, where it has been deployed, is a loop. That loop takes place very often in displays shortly after takeoff. It does rolls in the air, it proceeds onto a loop, it comes down. Let's go back to Shiv, who joins us at this stage as well. Shiv, go ahead with what you're hearing.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions yet, Vishnu, but this does look bad, doesn't it? The aircraft was coming in for a very low pass, and then to pull up suddenly at extremely low altitude. It's a difficult maneuver, but one that pilots of the Tejas have mastered over the years. This is not the Tejas' first excursion to the Dubai Airshow. They've been there before, but something catastrophically wrong has clearly taken place. For the pilot not to have been able to pull up. Now, we don't have video footage at this particular moment before this last clip that we're looking at on our screens, Vishnu. So I'm not sure yet about ejection. I don't know what you're hearing. We're awaiting an official word from the Indian Air Force. But in this particular clip, one cannot. Okay, I'm going to ask our producers to only play the clip that is on our screen right now, only of the crash, because we can't see an ejection in this clip. Vishnu, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you able to discern any ejection activity in the video footage that's on our screen? I can't see an ejection or a parachute of any kind. Perhaps it happened earlier. I'm praying that's the case, but I can't see it here right now, Vishnu.
No, I can't either. And if you look at Angad Singh's tweet, and he's right over there in Dubai, he says that no ejection has taken place. This is extremely unfortunate news, if indeed, it is accurate. The video, which I'm looking at also on my screen right now, and what we are playing out, does appear to confirm the crash of a Tejas aircraft, number one. So let's just stick to what we know right now. Shiv, number one, it does appear to be a Tejas jet which has crashed at the Dubai Airshow. Number two, it's unclear at this stage whether there has been an ejection. It does appear that that may not be the case. We pray that that is the case if the pilot ejected earlier on. One can see in this video from the last few moments that the pilot has pitched the nose of the aircraft up. Unfortunately, that's not enough. It mushes into the ground over here, and there's that fiery explosion. The Dubai Airshow is one of the primary air shows where the Tejas has been performing over the last few days, along with India's aerobatic squadron, the Surya Kirans. The Tejas' displays over there have been very, very strong. For something like this to actually take place is absolutely horrific. As we understand right now, on the basis of what we are being told, very sadly, there does not appear to be an ejection which has taken place. Now, needless to mention, there's going to be a lot of information which comes in. The Indian Air Force informing us that they are looking into this, they are aware of these reports, and they will come back with more details. But from this particular angle, and whatever it is of the video that we see, there doesn't appear to be an ejection which has taken place, which would be horrific. The Tejas, this is a single-seater Tejas aircraft, which appears, which has gone down. Shiv.
This is very, very disheartening news, Vishnu, that Angad, our friend and journalist who captured that first image of the crash, has put out on his social media. He says he didn't see an ejection, or that there was no ejection, which would presumably mean that the pilot went down with the plane. I am still going to pray for some kind of an outside chance that he was able to get out before impact, but we have to believe what we're looking at and what what eyewitnesses like Angad on the ground are telling us. In fact, our guest desk is trying to patch Angad through to us, Vishnu, for just a moment. And we're going to try and get a first-hand view from him because he's right there. He's sitting there. He sent us these pictures and images. That's the reason why NDTV was able to report on it first. But this is absolutely horrifying. Now, for our viewers tuning in, and Vishnu, you'll bear me out on this, low altitude maneuvers of this kind are very much part of the display set that the Tejas engages in as part of the aerobatics display. So that in itself is not alarming, but the aircraft would have had to pull up a few centimeters as far as this video goes before it actually impacted the ground. You can hear those shouts of horror from the spectators because as soon as that aircraft disappears over the horizon, you see that huge plume of smoke and that fireball, confirming that the worst has happened and the aircraft has actually hit the ground. Like you rightly said, Vishnu, this is the second accident of the Tejas. It has otherwise enjoyed a stellar safety record right through development testing and active service with the Indian Air Force. The last time it crashed, which was during an exercise in Rajasthan, the pilot did manage to eject safely before the aircraft crashed. It was an engine fault of some kind. This time we don't know yet. We don't want to speculate or conjecture, but a very, very troubling day. We're still awaiting an official confirmation from the Indian Air Force about the circumstances, about the condition of the pilot. I'm hoping against hope once again that by some miracle the pilot's been able to get out of the plane before he went down. But all indications, as you're bringing to us, Vishnu, right now, is that this has ended with a fatality, has ended in a tragedy. Very, very sad. We're waiting for categorical information, Vishnu.
No, absolutely. This is very, very sad news. I think the video on the left, which is earlier video from that same Dubai Airshow, sort of indicates the maneuver the aircraft may have been in. This is something, and I've been watching these displays on YouTube every single day for the last couple of days. The Tejas goes up. It goes vertically up soon after takeoff. It then gets into a roll, and then it comes out of the roll somewhere over there on the left-hand side of your screen. But evidently, if it's that phase of the flight, the aircraft pulls up very, very safely. There are safe limits built into all air displays. Over here, it just mushed into the ground. Moments before that, the aircraft, you can see the nose of the aircraft pitching up. Perhaps a last-ditch effort by the pilot to sort of come out of that. Now, was this engine failure? Was this something else? That's something we don't know. But there are always major safety precautions which are underway, which exist, rules at air shows. So there is a minimum altitude that you can operate in, and when you pull out of a loop, you have to be well above that minimum, or you have to stay on that minimum. So in this case, it obviously went way below that. The reasons we don't know. We don't want to get into whether this is an engine failure or a failure of the fly-by-wire system or something else, potentially pilot incapacitation. Whatever it is, what Angad Singh, a well-known journalist, is saying on the screen, what is saying is that this appears to be a fatal accident of the Tejas fighter aircraft. We've got Group Captain Augustine Vinod with us. He's a former fighter pilot himself. So this is just heartbreaking. Your first thoughts?
Absolutely, Vishnu. In fact, I was listening to you and Shiv talking about it, and to me, visually it's appearing very similar to the F-16 crash in August, if you remember. One ace display pilot, Mr. Slab from Poland. It was very, very similar because he almost got out. So it just last couple of meters more and he won't have impacted the ground. Is my first thought. Secondly, we have in the aerobatics on the back of the loop and on vertically down, we have two checkpoints where we do check our altitude and speed, whether it is adequate for recovery or not. Those two checkpoints are there as kind of a safety. So in hot conditions, you have to have a little bit of, an extra height in hand so that your mush towards the ground is catered for by that little extra height. Those are the things, passing thoughts that is coming to my mind. Like you correctly said, it's not time to speculate, it is time for prayer. I didn't see a parachute coming out, and I didn't see enough time for the parachute come out as well. So we hope for the best, like Shiv said, but I don't know. Let's wait for the final confirmation, official confirmation. Over to you.
No, absolutely, sir. And I think the other key point, of course, is that the Tejas has a very good safety record. There's been one previous crash, I believe that was attributed to an engine problem, but the pilot ejected safely on that occasion. Now, the Tejas has been in service for an extended period of time. This is the second time only that, something like this has happened, but it might just be the first fatal crash.
Absolutely. In fact, the Jaisalmer crash, I happened to be close by when it happened, and I also came up on your channel covering that for a single-engine fighter, in the history of single-engine fighters, I think Tejas has the best record of any single-engine fighter in the world, including, Mirage 2000. So, a wonderful safety record Tejas has enjoyed all this while, and the first fatal crash, not attributable to fault of Tejas, of course, is my first thought. I mean, we will come to know once the so-called black box is out, and if there has been a technical error. But that is my first thought, because listening to the sound.
I think at this stage, sir, we really don't know what caused this, but it could be human error. That's not uncommon. In air shows, it could be a mechanical error. It could be an engine failure as well. There could be a combination of many factors. Even pilot incapacitation is something that will not be ruled out by the court of inquiry. When a crash takes place, what does the Indian Air Force do in terms of procedure?
First, we collect all the evidence. We cordon off the area, take all the debris. In this case, it is going to be challenging because it is in a foreign soil. So it has to go through the External Affairs Ministry as well. And it could be that it will be a combined inquiry. That again, time will tell. But since it happened on a foreign soil, it could be a combined inquiry too. That is something which cannot be ruled out.
Right, and this crash, of course, took place at the Dubai International Airshow. It's an extremely prestigious international airshow. I think we are fortunate. The video seems to indicate that there has been no debris or part of the aircraft which has crashed towards the audience or close to them. That is also important. There have been disasters in air shows where aircraft have actually, come in contact with people. There have been massive losses of life. That's not taken place. There was a certain safety, a distance which was maintained. Shiv, go ahead.
Vishnu, the Indian Air Force has just informed some of us journalists that a Tejas of the Indian Air Force has crashed at the Dubai Air Show. Further details are being ascertained at the moment, and that they will be bringing us further details in some time right now. So it's a sensitive moment, Vishnu, remember, because it was not one but a small group of Tejas fighters that were at the Dubai Air Show, and they were all flying, and horrifying pictures right now. The Indian Air Force is gathering information. They will have an official comment in just a moment. The worst fears as to the circumstances of this fighter jet involving a fatal casualty of the pilot is becoming more and more real. And as we wait for that comment from the Indian Air Force, let's also remember that there are families watching. There are families of pilots who will be frantically looking for authentic information about their loved ones. They will be trying to make calls to find out who it was in that aircraft. So we at NDTV will be extremely sensitive and careful about the information we put out. Any information we receive will not be put out in terms of names or identity of any pilots until the Indian Air Force identifies them categorically and officially. Only then, I promise all of our viewers, will we name them here on NDTV.